Aaron Rodgers, in case you hadn't heard, he's going to Pittsburgh. Okay, I guess he's going to show up next week. And I think he had something family-related. Don't know what that is. I think that there was an agreement in place. We spoke about this numerous times. You go in for 6 hours. You meet with Mike Tomlin. From what I'm told, there were conversations that were on a semi-regular basis between Aaron and Mike Tomlin, and that this was an agreement that they had, whether it was in principle. It's a one-year deal. Maybe I thought it was going to be 1+1, but from what I've read so far, it's just a one-year deal with Aaron Rodgers. Don't know, if it's incentive-based. Probably will be. But here's the key. I think Mason Rudolph can, take you to a 9-8 record. I need somebody to take you to a playoff win because it's been a long time since they won a playoff game. Yeah, they finish over 500. That's nice. I'd like to win a playoff game or two if I could. Yes, Paul.
Russell Wilson last year for the Steelers, 11 starts, 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 5 picks. Not bad. Those are very solid stats. Aaron Rodgers last year had about just under 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
He didn't have a bad year. He didn't. It's just he didn't show up in big games. That you can sometimes have stats where you go, the numbers do lie. Here are your Steeler odds to win the Super Bowl. Yesterday, plus 4,000. And then they signed Aaron Rodgers. Their Super Bowl odds today, plus 4,000.
Wow.
Push.
Over under prior to signing Aaron Rodgers, 8.5. Over under after signing Aaron Rodgers, 8.5. I don't know if this is about the Steelers or about Aaron, or maybe a combo. Is he an upgrade? Yes. How much of an upgrade? And really, this just kind of prolongs your quarterback situation. Like, this doesn't solve it. This is 1 year. That's why I thought that they would draft a quarterback. Now, granted, it has to be the quarterback that you think is right for your offense. And Will Howard from Ohio State may turn out to be a starting quarterback. But if I like Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart, then I take them there. If I think that helps us down the road. Like, it feels like you're on the clock because you haven't won a playoff game in how many years? What's it been, like 8 or 9 years that they haven't won a playoff game? And it feels like this is a right now move. You're gonna re-sign T.J. Watt, or you're going to extend his contract. You'll put him up there with Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons. But how good are you? Okay, you got DK Metcalf. Okay. He's great on the deep ball, but... So I don't know. I look at the team and I go, where do you stand? Are you better than the Bengals? And that's probably a push, but I would say the Bengals probably a little better. And the Ravens, you're not as good as the Ravens. And then you have the Browns. But where do you stand in the AFC? Are the Steelers a top 10 in the AFC? So that's where I'm looking at this going, okay, are we doing this for now? And then what happens after this year? It just kicks the can down the road of you didn't really address the quarterbacking situation, bigger picture. And then I thought, you start to look at winners and losers. Like Kirk Cousins probably was hoping, hey, we can work out a trade. I can go to Pittsburgh. That would be great for a couple of years and my career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, as opposed to being a backup in Atlanta. Also, the NFL schedule makers, would they have gone a little more all in? Now, the Steelers are universally loved, fan base all over the world. But would they have, they manipulated the schedule when Aaron Rodgers was with the Jets, and they're like, 6 of the first 8 games are prime time. Like, we're all in on Aaron. But, with Pittsburgh, and then they open up with the Jets. I think that's a 1 o'clock game at the Jets. And then I said, golly, if you're the NFL, can you find out, what's your gut feeling if Aaron Rodgers is going to play? Because if he's going to play, does that change that first week? Do you change it? Does somebody want that as a 4 o'clock or, primetime game? That was the only thing I thought of is, does the NFL know something that Aaron Rodgers, is he going to play or is he not going to play? Yeah, Paulie.
I've been thinking about this a little bit since you brought it up. I'm curious if Aaron Rodgers moves the needle TV-wise anymore. So yesterday I was watching after Rodgers signed with the Steelers, and objectively, it seems like a lot of people, now it's social media, but a lot of football fans really don't like Aaron Rodgers for a number of reasons. And it's interesting because, and that's not necessarily my opinion, but what I saw yesterday was that people were rooting against the Steelers and rooting for Rodgers to fail, or at least the second part of that. The Steelers are one of the more beliked teams in all of sports. Generally, people have positive images of the Steelers, almost like the St. Louis Cardinals. And now you hire a quarterback who's polarizing at best, and for a lot of football fans, dislikable. It's an interesting quandary they have there.
Yeah, but people watch the Cowboys because they hate them. So you might watch the Steelers.
Hate watch?
Yes.
They've never been in that position before.
People might not have liked Ben Roethlisberger, but for the most part, Tomlin, Cowher, the consistency that the Steelers have always had in that organization. But, yeah, I don't know how many polarizing players there are in the NFL when you think about it. Not many. I mean, people might not like Travis Kelce because, there's a part of the public that doesn't agree with him because she, voted for Kamala Harris. So, therefore, he got caught in the crossfire there that you're dating, Taylor Swift. Who else is really polarized? I mean, Tyreek Hill, maybe. I don't know if anybody cares. But, yeah, Aaron Rodgers definitely polarizing. But I think people are going to tune in to either see him win or see him lose. I think you'll definitely – I don't think you'll be watching the Steelers and you won't have an opinion. I think that's pretty true for the NFL fan base. Yeah, Seton.
Yeah, I wonder – I think you're right. I think if you're watching the Steelers – you'll probably have an opinion one way or the other, but I don't know if you're going to go out of your way to watch Aaron Rodgers lose. I don't know if people are going to say, like, let me see what the games are on. Oh, let me go see how terrible Aaron Rodgers is, or hopefully he will be bad. I also think if the Steelers aren't very good, then no one's going to watch them, regardless of their thoughts on Aaron Rodgers.
See, I will. I would watch one way if he's really good or he's struggling. I will still be interested in that storyline here. Over 18 years in Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin is 8-11 in the playoffs. Of those 8 wins, 3 came in 2008, 2 in 2010, 1 in 2015, 2 in 2016. So in 18 years, he's either missed the playoffs or lost in the first round 14 of those 18.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that
what?
Stat of the day.
Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America.